So this remains true. That's coaching at its heart, but this is the next level, which is transformational coaching explores a client's inner world of beliefs, assumptions, values, and expectations in order to create greater possibilities for ways of being in life. In other words, you're not just looking at what they're doing. A lot of coaches, when they first start, will look at what the client does. So the client will say, yeah, I'm really struggling to start a business. And the coach will say, okay, what are you doing at the moment? And the client will say, well, I've rung up 5 people last week, but 5 of them didn't answer. And then I wrote an email, but that person didn't get back to me. And then I went to a networking event, but I didn't really know how to get into the circle and couldn't have a conversation. Okay, so what could you do? And they're straight into the doing part. They're not going like, what's happening for you here that's making this problematic? And so when we start thinking about transformational coaching, and this is why, by the way, that I think this will be all coaching one day, is that because it's obvious, isn't it? That the real change takes place at the level of beliefs and assumptions and values and expectations and all the stuff that drives the way we show up in the world. I think coaching can't avoid that, to be honest. I think there is still pockets of coaching that sticks to performance style, but this is where I just think we're heading as a profession. So we're making a much more deliberate attempt to go like, what is that inside you that's showing up in this way? And where's that coming from? And how could you change it? And if you accept it, what's the difference? And all these sorts of questions around the inner world. I recently had a consultation with a lady who's really keen to be coached by me, because when you're the founder of a coaching school, you tend to be quite attractive to be coached by you. It's just one of those things that human beings are like drawn towards founders and that sort of thing. It's a bit silly really, but that's what people do. So she was really keen to be coached by me. And I went through like, what's going on for you? And she's like, well, I'm really happy in my relationship. And yeah, growing my business, it's going okay. Not exactly where I want it to be, but I feel like I'm on track. Health, I'm really good with now. And I was like, I don't see an issue here. Like, I don't think I can coach you because I'm not hearing something. She goes, but I really want to explore blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I get that, but I'm not the coach for that because there's no ontological grit. There's nothing here that's going to excite me to do the work. Now, I did have a client once who came to me who said that she was going to commit suicide. And at that point, you know that you are straying outside of your bounds as a coach. However, she was in such an acute position, I couldn't just go like, tough, I'm not the coach for you. I spent 3 hours with her. First of all, I just spoke for about an hour with her around what was going on for her and so on. And then we spent the next 2 hours applying for job seekers allowance because I wanted her to leave my office feeling like she had a direction. Clearly that wasn't going to be a coaching contract at all. So it's about knowing the difference. For sure. But I don't find many people fall into what I would call you must go to therapy. I find most people can do the work that I do as a coach. Like they can start to benefit from that kind of work. I coached somebody recently who'd she'd had ME for 20 plus years, and she'd been totally stuck, bedbound, physically stuck. And she came to me saying, so this is what I mean about I feel that transformational coaching can help many more people than typically we think of coaching doing. She came to me saying that after 20 years of ME, she felt like a child who was re-emerging into the world and didn't know the rules of life and how to play the game of life, and she didn't know how to be. So we started to talk about everything that was going on for her, and I don't remember quite how it happened, but we got on to running, and she said that I remember what it was. I said to her, how would you, in fact going to your question at the back, I said to her, how would you measure success from our coaching together? And she said, you know what, I'd love to start running again. I haven't run for 20 plus years. When I was young, I used to run a lot, and for me, that would be amazing. But she said, I'm so fearful of running in case it triggers my ME and I fall ill again and da-da-da-da. And she said, I just will not risk this. We went through an hour-long conversation, and literally by the end of the hour, she put her running shoes on and went running in the park. And she came back to me in the second session and said, Nick, you're going to be very smug, but I went running after our call. That was huge for her. And then she said to me, so here's the next thing. I want to, was it business networking? Yeah, she wanted to go business networking. And she said to me, but here's the thing, Nick, I feel like a child. I feel like I'm being born again and I don't know the rules of the game. I'm like, I think I've heard this before. So we reflected on this and we said, like, what is the pattern you're running that makes you think you're a newborn child when clearly you're not? Like I said, if I can share how I experience you, I find you very confident. I find that you're very articulate in explaining your life. And yet, as you tell me who you are, you tell me that you're not confident. There's a mismatch here. What is that mismatch? It was just unpicking. And the paradigm shift was so big that she went running straight away. She went to her first networking event. I forgot what the third session was, if I'm honest. But each time she made a significant shift because we looked at what was the underlying belief that was just not serving her. It was quick, but equally, it can be small steps as well. Like in the case of the client who wasn't talking to her husband, that's going to be a step-by-step thing to try to break down the lack of honesty between her and her husband. It's not going to go like, just won't. Cool. I just want to just say a couple more bits, and I want to get you guys to break. I'm going slowly today. One of the ways we think of I'm a student of philosophy. I studied philosophy at university, and so I got obsessed by all these thinkers like Nietzsche and Sartre and Camus and all these people. And the truth, and Aristotle and Plato, and basically they're all asking one essential question, which is, what is it to be human? What is it to live well? And so I often think of transformational coaching being that. What is it to be human and to live this life well? That's really the heart of everything we do as a coach. It might not look like it at first, because they might talk about business, or they might talk about career, they might talk about relationship. Deep down they're saying, I want to live a good life. I want to feel good about myself. I want to be happy. I want to feel meaningful. I want to feel on purpose. That's what they're really saying when you strip it back. And I think what coaching does, transformational coaching, is help somebody have that journey of, how is it to be me in this world and do it well? Like, that's the heart of it.